Hello, Internet, and welcome to Motley Mondays. I tried to say a bunch of different things right there, but I came at the right one eventually. Thanks for joining us here tonight at our round robin D&D extravaganza. We're playing a little 5th edition or 5e for you veterans out there. We've been going around and each one of us has been running a one shot, and this week it is my turn. So we're come full circle now. Well, we'll do some announcements before we get into the game here. We have coming up this week, tomorrow we will not have our regularly scheduled match running as I will be out of town, but Savannah will probably be streaming some Dream Daddy in Matropony Matro-Lonely edition, which is gonna be the thing whether Savannah wants it to or not.
I'm planning on starting around 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Cool. So come and join us for that at 4 o'clock Eastern time. Wednesday this week, we'll probably have another Lynn's Day. Lindsay just finished her run through of Bioshock Infinite, and we'll now be moving on to Borderlands 2. So come and join her at that. Usually starts around 8:30 Eastern time ish. But keep an eye on our Twitter for our going live announcements. Won't have anything on Thursday this week, but on Saturday we will be back for our next Saturday nights, our other 5th edition campaign. We just ended our giveaway for our Descent to Avernus giveaway, and 2 lucky viewers, patrons of the channel, have received a copy of the book or the Descent into Avernus new expansion or module that's coming out in about a month or so, as well as a copy of the Dice Miscellany set. And if you are interested in more giveaways on the channel, I'm sure we'll have some coming up in the next few months, but keep an eye out. We do them kind of sporadically, but we try to do them in advance to give you as much chance to enter as possible. I think that's it as far as announcements go. Anything else that I missed?
I have a game on Sunday.
Oh yeah, Savannah is going to be running the next installment of Apocalypse When, her Apocalypse World campaign. I think you only have 3 more sessions of that left.
We have 3 weeks left. So
yeah, so it is
I'm
wrapping
very
up.
Sad, but it's gonna be great. So yeah, if you missed this week's, it'll be on the YouTube soon, so you should watch it because a lot happened.
Yeah. And so hop on over to Encounter Roleplay to watch that this Sunday at 5 o'clock Eastern time. I think that is it. So, without further ado, let's get into the game. So today in our installment, we have Savannah as Harmony, Alex returning as the Paladin, Atherby, and Morgan as the Druid Darien Wild. And where you are all now, a few weeks after, or days, or some unknown period of time after your adventures in the cult crypts of chaos, whatever the name of the dungeon actually was, you find yourselves at a roadside tavern on the long road between Tribor and Amphale. In 3 days travel from any major settlement, basically the middle of nowhere. And here you sit in the comfy confines of the Sad Cow Tavern. It is dead in here right now. There is nobody else in this bar except for the innkeep, who is kind of sleepily carrying out their tasks, bringing you drinks as you need them. But otherwise it's quiet, and there's a little music playing from some magical little contraption in the corner, kind of like an arcane jukebox that's giving the place a little bit of false life. Any conversation you guys would like to have before we jump in? Anything you guys need to reconnect with each other? No.
I mean, Atherby, how did taking out that crypt go? I mean, you had us leave.
Yep, that's because when my deity channels his divinity through me, I was going to say divineness, but divinity through me, it kind of collapses the whole place, and not just like, oh no, it's a cave-in, as in just like it doesn't exist anymore. So it's very weird. I don't understand it, but much for the better that no one else was in there.
Oh, so you kind of got like turned into a bomb, you could say.
I guess, yeah, but
A holy bomb.
yeah. But now I'm all better. I got better. Yeah. Only happens when he calls on me to do so.
Right.
Y'all did a good job cleaning up in there.
Yeah, that was an interesting place. You would have liked that door, I think.
Yeah, a bit of a shame that he's been atomized, but what can you do? Takes another drink.
The innkeeper, a sort of scrawny-looking, or spindly human man with like a bald spot and a little bit of a comb over, kind of wakes up at the moment as your glass hits the table and looks up and goes, do any of you need any more drinks? Anything to eat? I'll go run and get something from outside. I'll be out in the cellar. I'm right back if you need me. And he kind of staggers a little bit, walking out the door, like he's probably half asleep as he's doing that. And he heads out the doors and heads off to the right where the cellar is.
So pleasant.
I'd like you all to make perception checks for me.
Oh, okay.
21.
21, okay.
19.
Shit.
19?
11.
Okay. I like how the druid of the party rolled the lowest on that.
I rolled like a 5.
Hey, we're subverting stereotypes here.
Hey.
So the two of you, Atherby and Harmony, about 30 or 45 seconds after the innkeeper leaves, you both feel this like slight tremor, like a small earthquake. It's just an uncommon in the Sword Coast, but it's very short and it lasts for only like a second and then it stops. And the only reason that it sort of strikes you as weird is after a few seconds after that, there's an identical, sort of equally spaced one. And you just keep hearing that same or feeling that same tremor. And before long, you begin to feel or begin to hear kind of a same like rumbling sound from outside. And at that moment, the music stops with a scratch.
Those arcane needles, for all their fanciness, they can't make it sound any more pleasant.
They will never be as good as the live music.
And you just hear that same thumping and closer and closer and louder and louder until the whole place begins to shake. And who rolled the 21? Atherby. You look outside and you notice a small speck on the field as you see the tavern owner running sprinting across the field in the exact opposite direction of the tavern as fast as he possibly can.
Well, I think we're the owners of a new tavern if we want it. If it's gonna survive whatever's coming this way.
Perhaps we
Huh?
should find out.
And as that shaking gets louder and louder, you hear this grumbling along with it. You all go and step to the exit of the tavern.
Yep, finish my drink, arm up.
As you walk
Yeah.
towards the exit, you also notice that it's growing dark outside. And it's about midday right now. And you all walk out and find the source of the eclipse very quickly, as looming above the tavern is a colossal creature of seemingly made from the earth itself, a massive titan of stone and rock, towering hundreds of feet above the tallest trees. And I think immediately you all know what this creature is, and legends speak of it. It's a horror so well known but never seen by adventurers, as few who ever see it live to tell the tale. You see the massive creature known as the Tarrasque. Just as with one slobbering, massive movement, it opens its mouth wide, looms down, and swallows you and the tavern whole. And at that moment, in that screaming grinding of wood and metal and earth all around you, and finding yourself suffocated from it, you find the world sort of falling away and tumbling, and you all lose consciousness in that moment.
Ooh.
Your hit points are still fine. You're just unconscious. And you're not sure
What?
how much longer it is later. But I'll say Atherby, you wake first to the feeling of water dripping onto your head. And you open your eyes and look around you, and you see the debris of broken bits of wood and metal, and the half of a keg from the sad cow. And you see the bits of the tavern around you, but you see that you are lying down in a patch of mud and earth and a little bit of water, and above you, stretching and kind of enclosed around you, is this dense jungle foliage, these massive trees and canopies that are all interwoven above you, blocking out any sort of light. But you are in a jungle, and looking to your left and your right, you see Harmony and Wild lying not too far away from you.
I will go over and try and shake them awake. Now, I'm no biologist, but to my understanding, you don't get this kind of flora and fauna inside the gut of any creature, even one as legendary as the Tarrasque.
Probably not.
I mean, that's kind of big. I've never been inside a Tarrasque before. Have you?
Can't say that I have.
No.
I wonder if anybody has.
Well, if they did, they probably did not come back out alive.
Oh no. Well,
Are we dead?
Pinch Harmony.
Are these the hills?
This seems much
I hope
more
not.
pleasant than any of the hells I know of. There's
Maybe
usually
it
a
is
lot
just
more.
my hell.
What? Not much of a nature girl?
Have you ever looked at me?
Can I start like digging into the dirt to see how deep it goes?
Oh,
Sure.
This is my hill.
You start digging down into the ground, and I mean it. You dig. I mean, how far are you going to dig? You go 1-2 feet, and it's
I got a
still
couple
just
feet.
it's still dirt and earth, and it's. I think make a nature check for me, actually.
Okay. 3.
Okay. Yeah, it's mostly topsoil. I mean, it's basically what you'd expect.
Okay.
I'm gonna move you guys to your page here.
Oh, it's a pretty picture.
Yeah.
As you are, as you're kind of inspecting yourselves, you're looking around, and again, you see the all these trees around you, and the kind of again forming this valley, and you can't get an idea of how far or how big this space is because the foliage is so dense, and you can't see through the canopy, though little bits of light kind of refract or down through the gaps in the leaves. But you do feel like you are in some sort of like ravine almost, and there's a little bit of water kind of running through it.
Do we hear any animals or birds?
Make a perception check.
Okay. I'm rolling so poopy tonight. Well, actually 12.
12. Okay. You do hear the sounds of life, of bugs chittering, and even occasional bird screeching out in the distance. And you also notice there is a rustling in the undergrowth, just maybe 20 yards off from where you're currently standing.
Well, I don't think we're alone. He kind of like points over there to the rustling, kind of like nudging at it. So, I don't know what could be around here, but I'm very curious.
Do we still hear or feel the footsteps of the Tarrasque?
You kind of concentrate for a moment, and it's sporadic, but every once in a while you'll feel kind of a pulsing, and then maybe every like minute or so there's a larger kind of shudder to the place, like a tremor, almost like seismic activity, and the whole forest seems to shake, though the plants and animals, or the animals that you can hear, don't seem to like react to it in a startled way. As you are kind of surveying your surroundings, though, that rustling in the undergrowth stops for a moment. And then hopping out from the undergrowth comes a small creature, sort of brownish, leathery skin, standing about a foot tall. Looks like a lizard, but standing on its hind legs, and with two shorter kind of forearms. And it has a long neck and a smaller head, and it sort of cranes its neck to the side and gives a small little yelp as it's looking at you, like a chittering bird almost.
Huh. Well, you are not so bad.
I don't speak lizard. Too bad we don't have Pod here. He could probably talk with this thing.
He would be very angry with you for saying this.
I mean, I can try to say hello. Can I try to speak to it as a furbolg? I have ability of speech of beast and leaf.
Okay.
So I can communicate in a limited manner with beasts and plants.
All right. And
says.
what is the limited manner? Okay, let's see.
I clicked it.
They can understand the meaning of your words, so you have no special ability to understand them in return. Okay, what are you trying to say to them?
Just kind of like walk up to it, but like not try to not be threatening. I'm also very big. I'm very bigger than them. Just, hello there.
Right.
Are you a friend?
it just sort of cranes its head at you in sort of a bemused way.
Well, we're new here, and we'd like to see more of this place. Where should we go?
And it takes a few steps back, and it kind of looks over its shoulder, and you hear a similar noise to that this creature is making off in the distance, another kind of chirping screech. And at that moment, it sort of retreats a bit, and then it just darts off into the undergrowth away from you. And very shortly after that, you hear another noise, a little more familiar. You hear shouts, like human or humanoid shouting of some person off in the distance, and they sound distressed.
That is our cue.
Yeah, let's go check it out. Is it in the direction the little creature? Okay.
Okay, so you go running that direction, still kind of occasionally feeling that tremor to the land, and you come rushing out from this patch of trees in the same direction you're in the shouting. And as you move out of this patch, you get a very close glimpse a short glimpse of the terrain around you, and you can see the trees kind of sloping upward. And the reason why you feel like you're in the basin is because this whole terrain seems to all slope upward in almost every direction until it connects with the horizon in the form of these sort of stonish looking walls that seem to wrap up and enclose this entire space up hundreds of feet above you to a ceiling which you can see looks sort of cracked, and you can vaguely get the image of like a muted light kind of streaming down, and between that light you can see the spinal column of this creature extending backwards, and the rib cage kind of extending out either direction from you. And it's amazing and horrifying all in the same moment, except you're distracted by, in front of you, you see a halfling currently halfway climbing up a tree, though he seems like he's having a hard time to do so. He looks about middle-aged, wearing dirty, tattered clothing, and a dirty brown hat that is kind of half askew on his head. And he is climbing up the tree and shouting as 5 of these small lizard creatures that you saw before are encircled around the tree, and each one by one trying to jump up and bite at him. And he's yelling and going, "Help! Help! Help!"
Maybe we can run them off? They are small.
Yeah. Maybe I can scare him. And I'm gonna wild shape into a bear and start running at them and roar really loudly. As I do. I'll scare them off.
Okay, wild shape into a bear and come running up and give a big roar. Make an intimidation check for me.
Okay. Intimidation. Am I intimidating? 15.
15. Okay. You come.
Unless a bear has better than. No, it's charisma. Okay, never mind. Yeah, 15. You run up and give a big echoing roar as these 5 creatures are immediately kind of scatter off to the side and move away from the halfling, but they spread into a wider circle, and they stop for a second. There's a little bit of like a showdown kind of between the massive bear and these 5 smaller creatures that have spread out around, and after a few moments of silence, you see that all their attention is now on you, and they give another little one of them gives another little screech, and
as they kind of hop backwards, one of them darts off into the undergrowth, into the jungle, and the other sort of follows suit, all running off behind it. You seem to have to sufficiently scared them away.
You can come down.
You call out to the halfling, and he kind of is so clean of the tree. His eyes are closed, and he opens one of them and looks down. And he says, "Oh, they're gone. Thank you. And he kind of shimmies down the tree a bit. And he makes it to about like 2 feet away from the bottom before his arms give out, and he falls onto his back. He goes, oh God. And he stands up, and he says,
"Hello."
"Oh God, I'm hallucinating again. I knew I shouldn't have drank that water.
Oh no, we are here.
No, don't try to trick me. I'm just need to deep breaths. Okay. All right.
To go over and pick him up and set him on his feet.
Okay.
My hallucination do that?
That's the first. You're real." He sort of pokes Atherby in the armor and like knocks on it and says, "You're real. You're really real."
At least as far as I'm aware, yes, I'm real.
We have not ruled out the possibilities that we are dead. But
No, not. If you're real, you're not. Well, I suppose you could
think
be.
about that.
Okay. How did you get here? Is it? Can you get out? Are you rescue? Are you here to rescue us?
We can try, but we're in a Tarrasque.
I know.
Yeah, there's not exactly an instruction manual on how to escape from the inside of a Tarrasque.
But we are well equipped for rescue, so I'll figure it out.
Well, I guess you're better than nothing. All right. Sorry, where are my manners? My name is Alan Sattler. Pleasure to meet you.
I'm Atherby. The bear over there is Wild, and I will let her introduce herself.
Harmony. Pleasure to meet you, Dr. Sadler.
Dr. Sattler, yes. I'm sorry. I'm a bit worse for wear right now. I haven't really been out much. It wasn't really my thing, but I've been alone for a little while now, and I need your help if you can help me. I have a way of maybe getting off or getting out of this creature. If you can help me.
I mean, we're not just going to leave you.
I'm very glad you won't do that.
You said a few moments ago, you said, are you here to help us? Are there more of you?
Yeah, one other, my daughter, Lex.
Well, where is she?
She's missing, unfortunately. I was out here looking for her when I was attacked by the little creatures.
How young is your daughter?
Oh, she's an adult. She's, I guess, in her mid-40s.
Okay, so an adult, not, a little youngin' that, okay, that makes it a little easier.
No, and that's why this is difficult. She was the one that would go out and scavenge and find things and bring them back so that I could work on our escape, and she's been gone for a couple days, so I went out looking for her, and now I couldn't find her. But please, let's get back to my camp, and I can explain what's going on in safety, at least. Yes? All right. And he leads you up the hill and kind of through the jungle, following this river for a while, and up towards a ridge. And he says, "There's a waterfall not too far from here with a cave behind it. We found it was a pretty good place to hide out. The creatures that live here haven't really explored beyond that, and it sort of hides our scent from them. So
And that was Lex's idea. She knows more about this than I do, so I've been staying there. You'll find this is a very dangerous place. I haven't really been able to fully understand or research the nature of it, but I suppose no one's ever been inside or to come back from the inside of a Tarrasque to really explain what it's like inside of here. But it's sort of reminiscent from my research to parts of the Underdark, which resemble the same topography. So I haven't come up with a full name or title for this place yet, but my working theory is some sort of Tarrasque dark. I can't say that with a straight face.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna need you to speak into the mic for the people watching. What was it called?
I call it, as he reaches the top of the ridge, Tarrasque dark. And as you look out, you reach.
It's good. Catchy.
Whew, I promised myself I wouldn't laugh. You reach the top of the ridge and you look out to this valley and you see hundreds of creatures gathering around a massive lake at the center of this valley. More of these lizard-like creatures, with some of them standing 30, 40 feet tall, some of them moving in herds across the grassy terrain. And in this sort of strange and displaced ecosystem of this Tarrasque dark.
As we were traveling, Wild was watching out for any more of the little ones to see if they would try to come back.
I think throughout parts of your little travel here, keeping an eye out behind you, you have sort of been looking over your shoulder, and occasionally you'll hear and you're still in your bear form, I assume.
Yeah.
You'll hear the sort of rushing in the undergrowth, and you'll see one of the creatures sort of poke their heads up, and it does seem like they've been following you, but as you're in your bear form still, every time you look around and see them, they go scattering off, assuming you are a larger predator.
Yeah.
Do you think we can catch one?
Zoom. I mean, I'm not the fastest, but I could give it a shot.
Last time you went somewhere without me, Pod came back with a pet.
Are you saying you want one of them as a pet?
Yes.
We'll see what we can do, but first we should make sure we can get out of here. Maybe. So you can take your pet back and show it to your fan club.
Also Pod.
Yeah, and I'll show you he can talk to these things.
It just seems like you're being a bit racist, but okay.
So you're going to continue to follow Alan back to his camp, or you're going to try to capture? Okay.
No.
So,
Not yet. Maybe.
I'm just trying to talk to him on the way back. Just talk to him. So is Lex also a doctor? Or...
Oh no, she's spent more of her time out exploring and adventuring and that sort of thing. Didn't really, never really had. She's smart as a whip, and I'd say she could earn her doctorate in half the time. But I think she's just not really interested in book studies.
That's fair. Not for everyone.
No, she's much more into exploring the unknown, and I think what she would always say is if it's in a book, then it's not worth... means somebody's already found it. It's not worth looking into. She wanted the things that weren't in the books.
Interesting.
So, but she's tough though. She's still wherever she is, she's safe. We just need to find her. And you can see an obvious look of concern across his face as he trudges forward.
We will find her.
And as he leads you down into the valley and moving around the edge to stay away from some of these larger creatures, you come to a river that feeds into this lake, and you follow it upstream until you reach another sort of cliff or ridge where you see water pouring down from above and creating this waterfall. And he comes around, walks straight towards the waterfall, following the side of the river, and sort of hops onto a rock, and then hops to a kind of secreted alcove behind it. He says, "This way," and he leads you into the cave behind the waterfall.
Is there any way to go in without getting wet?
Yeah, you can. He did it without actually going through the water. Yeah, you don't have to get wet. It's easy enough, and you all one by one sort of would jump through and find your way into this cave where it's cool and sort of a little damp, and the cave continues for about 15 feet in before it opens up into a larger cavern. And in here you can see a little bit of a makeshift sort of campsite that they've built, and in here are the machinations and creations that they have faceted through their salvage over how long that these two have been here. You aren't entirely, I don't think anyone has asked at this point, but they you can see there's sort of a water wheel feeding away from the waterfall, kind of siphoning water in through some trenches to the back of the cave, which is powering some other contraptions, which is feeding a small like water basin for them, as well as a little like shower in the corner. And then there's like some cots that have been set up, and also a bunch of supplies and other things that are just kind of pushed around and kind of sectioned off into the corners. You can see that they've been doing a lot of work in here and kind of tinkering and building things. And there's also towards the back of this cavern, you can see another kind of tunnel that leads off in that direction. And Alan says, "So make yourself comfortable or whatever you need to do. It must have been fairly traumatic getting here, and you can take a minute to rest or prepare yourselves, whatever you need, and I can point you in the right direction of where I think Lex might have gone." He's going and reaching and pulling out some paper and maps and other things in the back. And after a few moments, he comes back around and he says, "Lex said a few days ago we've been working on a means of escape, and we need a few more parts to be able to escape. Luckily, there's a lot of wreckage. The creature eats things, and it ends up here. And there's all sorts of hidden treasures around this basin, and we've been able to salvage as much as we needed to build our means of escape. But hopefully, we only need a few more things." And Lex was out the other day scouting, and when she came back, she said she saw some new debris in the Bone Grotto, not too far from here, maybe a mile or two. I told her not to go, that it wasn't worth it. It's a dangerous place. So there's some carnivorous creatures that frequent that location, as you might expect from the name. It's suitably ominous. I named it myself. I told her not to go, and we had a bit of a tiff over it. And the next day, she was gone. And I think that's where she went. And it's been 2 days now, and she hasn't come back. If you could go and you could find her and the parts that I'm sure she's found and bring them back here, I can finish my contraption and we can escape together. All 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us.
Sounds okay to me.
Yeah, so we just...
I was gonna say this child's not in bear form anymore.
Okay.
It's probably like poking at like some of the like contraptions and things. So you haven't seen anybody else?
No one living. I think any that were able to make it here. We've come across some remains of some others that probably made it here too, but I don't think they lasted for very long.
And how long have you lasted in here? I mean, I saw you were pulling out maps. You've been here long enough to map out the insides?
It's been a while. It's hard to tell time in here. A couple of months at least.
Wow. Well, it's coming to an end.
If you can go and you can find Lex, and here I've got a map here, and I can point you in the right direction, the way to travel. I'd even be willing to offer some of the valuable things we've scavenged from the wreckage as compensation. We were going to take some for ourselves and hopefully gain something from this terrible, terrible endeavor. And you're welcome to your share of it too.
I mean, anything you have that'll help us find your daughter seems like it'll be mighty useful.
I do have one thing that I can lend to you now. This actually belonged to Lex, and I found it out in the jungle, and I think she dropped it because it would have weighed her down a bit. But here, and he pulls out from some of the supplies a large, like a large backpack, and he pulls it over and stacks it down on top of a table in front of you. It says, "This is a pack thing. I'm not really sure exactly how it works. I'm not really studied in the arcane, but it has extra dimensional properties to it. You can carry more things in it."
Sure, that'll come in handy.
Yeah, we could throw any. Put stuff in it that we find. Where does that go? And kind of points down the tunnel.
Oh, that leads towards my contraption, the thing we're building to escape. I guess I can show you so you know what we're sort of looking for. And he begins walking down the tunnel. And he leads you about 100 feet back out that way until the tunnel ends at a curtain of vines that they have clearly placed there, and it pulls them apart and leads through it. And you come out to a small little clearing, and sitting in the middle of that clearing is a mechanical contraption that I can only describe to our modern audience as the beginnings of a helicopter. And he points at it and he says, "This is my, I've been working on this design for a while, and I hadn't really had an opportunity to test it, but I guess this will be a good first run. I call it my whirlybird."
That's good. You're good at naming things.
Should be able to fly once we get it up and running.
Okay, because that don't look like no bird I've ever seen, but...
No. It instead of moving with flapping wings, it spins and creates a air pressure differential, and it allows it to move. Okay, I won't explain. It flies up, and then we can fly out of here.
Okay, I'ma just focus on trying to find your daughter. Let you worry about that.
Yes. Well, I only need a few more things and sort of the gear components, and Lex knows what to look for, and she should have it, or at least know where to get what we need. So find her, and hopefully we can get out.
Well, we should get going. Right?
Yeah. Do you have anything that smells like Lex?
She has some spare clothing.
That might work.
And he leads you back into the chambers and into the cave, and he takes you over to her
belongings, and you can find some clothes there that you would assume smell like her.
Okay, we're just gonna borrow this for a minute.
Okay.
Help us find her.
Says, okay, and just follow the directions on the map here, and that should get you at least close enough that hopefully you can find her from there with your tracking smell.
Yeah. All right. Y'all ready to go?
Almost. Can I look at the bag? Can I identify the bag just to make sure there's not anything like goofy going on with it?
No. Yeah. You can identify it. Yeah, you identify spell.
Yeah.
Or you just went into.
No. I have the spell. I guess I'll cast it as a ritual while other stuff is going on.
Okay. Yes, this is you take the 10 minutes. And if you wanted to take a short rest while you guys are in here to regain your spell shape or your wild shape, wild or any other things, but I don't think anybody's actually used anything.
Nope.
Cool. You identified this this thing as a handy haversack.
Oh.
Go ahead and give it to you guys. Okay. So you can store stuff.
Nothing like goofy going on with it.
Nope, nothing goofy. You can just you can store a lot of stuff in it.
Great. Okay.
Anything else before you guys leave?
I am ready to go.
He says, best of luck, and stay safe out there. Like I said, there's lots of dangerous things out in the jungle. Just keep your head on a swivel.
Danger is my middle name. Well, I guess that would make it one of 3, but...
Are there any in particular we should avoid?
The bigger ones.
That makes sense. Okay.
We'll be back soon, Doctor.
And you all leave the cavern, this cave, and as you step out from the waterfall and look out across the jungle, in the distance, you can see some more of you see that valley with all the creatures sort of grazing and herding throughout, and in the jungle ahead, sort of in the direction that you can see that the doctor has pointed you, and the direction of the bone grotto, you can see a flock of birds kind of come flying up away from the treetops, and you can see some of the treetops were shifting for a moment, and you hear a sort of growling roar out in the distance. Did that work? I didn't hear it.
No.
Damn it.
Just do the sound.
Can't do the sound.
The sound.
That's why I downloaded the sounds. You hear a roar off in the distance as the trees. That's exactly how it sounds. Just for a moment, indicating there might be something larger out there. But you take the map given to you by the doctor and begin your journey out into the jungles. So who's going to be sort of heading the navigating here?
Wild, are you going to be smelling or maybe not right away?
Yeah, maybe when we get closer.
Okay.
But I could like lead the way and then go wolf. Okay, yes, I am going to lead the way.
Okay.
Things about nature and stuff.
One day I'm going to get this sound to play. Okay, I'll figure that out at the break. Okay, so Wild, I'm going to have you make a survival check.
Okay. Let's try this one. 21.
21. Okay. You take the map and the clothing that you have, getting a good sense of the direction that you need to go, and traveling, following this river out into the valley, and then kind of cutting into the closer, like denser portions of the jungle. Begin heading towards the Bone Grotto. As you kind of cut near the edge of this this valley, though, where all of these dinosaurs, for lack, because I'm not going to just keep saying creatures, are hanging out, you do see a herd of these sort of larger creatures with 3 horns on their heads, moving out from the underbrush and circling around a couple of younger, like baby looking 3 horns that and kind of take a little bit of a defensive position as you come close and passing, and some of them kind of snorting and pounding at the ground a bit, but you make a wider berth and stay as far away from them as you can. And as you continue this journey further into the jungle, you begin to notice this jungle terrain grows more and more sort of just this exaggerated aspect to it. The trees growing taller, the plants bigger, and until you're seeing these flowers growing from the underbrush that are close to the size of a human. These massive flowers, and they're beautiful and vibrantly colored in these very sort of exotic, very vibrant sort of neon shades. And they're alluring. I'd say wild with your knowledge of the terrain, though you know that they're probably a little dangerous, though, with your survival check. And you try to steer the party away from them as much as you can.
Those are pretty, but they're also probably very dangerous. Careful of those ones.
Good to know.
And as you are sort of hacking through the underbrush and through this massive flower garden here, there is a moment where the ground kind of is a little more like pliable, less hard dirt and earth and rock than you have experienced so far in your travel. It almost has sort of a bounce to it as you are walking through. And it isn't until the ground beneath you starts to shift that you realize something is wrong, and I need you all to make dexterity saving throws.
Oh,
They're
no.
all presumably within 10 feet of me, so add 3
Nice.
from my aura of protection.
Yeah, I'd say you have it within 10 feet.
Okay, so dex save, right?
Yes.
Okay. Wait,
14.
25.
13.
Okay, Harmony, you leap out of the way with grace and dexterity as Atherby and Wild are enveloped within this massive Venus man trap that slams closed, wraps closed around them. This huge plant that then engulfs the two of them. And we're gonna just enter initiative so that we know which order we are acting in.
Okay. All right.
I'll even put on some combat music
That'll die.
just to be.
Okay. Oh.
I did not
20.
roll as well as roll 20.
Did that not go through? Let me try that again. Click. There it is. Okay.
Wild and Atherby, the two of you are currently grappled and restrained inside of this creature, and you feel this slight tingling sensation of some sort of icky liquid that is filling up inside of this thing's mouth.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
In fact, since you are first, Wild, you take...
Oh, lovely.
5 points of acid damage.
Oh, okay.
What would you like to do?
Okay. I would like to... What can I do? Okay. I would like to get out of here. Can I try to restrain though?
Yeah, you can make a
yeah.
Huh?
Can I try to break that restraint? Like just gonna
Yeah, you can make an athletic to try to escape. You can try to make an athletics check.
Okay, athletics. All right. Ooh, I'm really good at those. 18.
18 is actually exactly what you needed. So you kind of pull at the sides, and at the you see Wild, she kind of pulls the thing apart and pulls themselves out. And I'd say you're able to pull yourself out, Wild, but you are not able to pull out Atherby along with you. Think sort of like you kind of slurp out the side with your strength.
Okay.
You are free. That's your action to do that, though.
Okay. And then I'm just going to pull out my axe and get ready to smack it next round.
Okay. Harmony, it's your turn.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to be able to pull you out. Can I try to attack it like at the base of the flower?
There isn't. There isn't.
Go. I just don't want to stab Atherby.
It's gonna be hard to not stab Atherby.
Okay, well then I guess I'll just stab it.
We're just going in mechanics of this creature. It's just gonna happen.
Sully, help me! I'm gonna try to stab it.
Okay.
Ew, that's not very good. 14?
14 hits.
Yes.
But it doesn't hit me. My AC is higher.
No, it's just there's a damage transfer. So go and deal your damage, and half of it goes to Atherby.
That is 8 piercing damage.
All right, so it takes 4, and Atherby takes 4. Oh, sorry, Atherby, I did that to you instead of the monster.
It's fine.
But that's okay.
I'm gonna do it again.
Go ahead and take 4 away from that. Yes, do it.
I got extra attack at 6th level. Stab. Much better. 25.
Also hits.
Stab. Bad damage. 7 piercing damage.
So I'll say it takes 4, and Atherby, you take 3. That will end.
Let go.
That'll end Harmony's turn. It'll be its turn, but it can't really do anything. Atherby, is your turn.
All right. Can I see my way out of this fly trap?
You can attempt to pull your way out to the sides. You know where the gaps are in it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and attempt the athletics check to break out first.
Okay.
But I have something in case this doesn't work. That's only a 13, which I think you said was not enough.
No, that will not be enough. Oh, also, I forgot to give you your damage at the start of the round.
Yeah, the damage.
You take 11 points of acid damage. I rolled much better on that one.
Okay, so Atherby has been stabbed and acided, was unable to break out, and so is just gonna misty step and teleport out.
Okay. So yeah, because you only need sight. So you pull, like, as you're pulling it apart, you're not quite able to get it out. You're able to see just a little bit of a gap in the side, and then you just pop out, and you see Atherby appear there, covered in this ichor, but is currently safe. Wild, is there? What do you want to do in your turn?
Is the plant like starting to open back up, or is it still closed?
It looking like it will start to open back up.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a smack with my axe.
Okay.
Let's see. That is a 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay, D10. Where's the D? That's not 20. There it is. 6 bludgeoning. Wait, no, not bludgeoning. Slashing.
You said how much slashing again?
6.
6. Okay, 6 slashing. Alrighty. Anything else?
Can I like look around and see if there's any more of these plants?
You could do that with your action, but
Okay.
not since you attacked.
Okay, cool. That's a bonus. Is this a bonus? Yeah, I'm gonna healing word Atherby as a bonus.
Cool. Roll that heal.
Okay, it is Go, I'm so glad you got out. Here is plus my spell casting. 7 heaps.
Nice. I think Harmony, that'll make it your turn after Atherby is healed a bit.
Great. I'm going to keep stabbing the plant.
Do it.
Twice. That's a 20 and a 21.
Both hit.
Yay. It's 21 total.
Damage?
Piercing damage for both, yeah.
All right. Well,
Stab.
that went faster than I thought. That's all the hit points I got
I am
left.
really good at one thing.
Thought it would get one more turn.
It's a stab.
So yeah, you pull out your sword and you run forward and you just you kebab this lettuce.
Yes.
And it just like ripping it apart. And you just slice the top part of it off, and it doesn't make a noise because it's a plant, and it falls dead to the ground. There you go. You weed whacked it.
You whack the weed.
Okay. Don't do that again.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch out for those now. A little better.
Noted.
Are you okay, SFB?
I'll be fine. And I'm going to lay on hands myself for 10 points.
Nice. Okay. I would like to look around and see if there's any more of those.
Okay, make a perception
Plants?
check.
Okay. And I forgot I have this cool shield, so I get advantage on perception.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's good because I rolled a 1 and an 11. So, what is my perception bonus? That is 17.
17. You look around. You can see what looks to be like another one of these plants, kind of a distance away. It's not like the whole ground is sort of blanketed with them. You just sort of walked across one of them. It looks like there might be like a couple more like off in the distance, but they look pretty easy to avoid now that you've encountered one. Or it just froze on my screen.
All right.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Yeah, it's kind of windy right here. I wonder if it's doing something weird with the internet. Anyways. Well, I see some other ones that we can definitely avoid.
Oh, good.
So you follow continue to follow the directions of Wild and Alan until this jungle terrain sort of gives away a bit to a more rocky sort of desert almost terrain. So there's no sand. It's just kind of straight rock formation, and it's sort of at the edge of this jungle biome, and it matches the rest of the interior of this Tarrasque, just this like very hard rock interior, and it also begins to grow in like these gusts of wind that you're getting every now and then moving through here. There's this howling to it. And as you follow the directions, you come up to what is marked on the map as a large sort of crevasse that extends as far as you can see in either direction, spanning about a 60-foot gap. This chasm descends down into darkness, spanned only by a few long lengths of vines that sort of extend from one side to the other, and they're thick vines and they look pretty healthy and hardy, but they seem to be the only means of spanning the gap through mechanical traversion. And every once in a while, as you stand to the edge, suddenly there'll be a like a gust of wind that'll just shoot up from the darkness below, and it is just a endless pit beneath. You can't see where it stops.
Well, sure. Hope those aren't Tarrasque farts.
Disgusting.
But in terms of getting our way across, me and my armor, I don't know if it's gonna, it's a trade-off of y'all stick close to me. You'll be better at hanging on to the vines if those gusts come back, but I don't know if that'll be too much weight at once.
Perhaps we can time it. We can see how much time is in between each one.
That's a good idea. We could also maybe put some of the heavy stuff in that new bag that we got.
True. So hold one of us down. Although, I don't know if the bag actually gets any heavier.
It does not. It's always 5 pounds.
Now that I think about it, it does not.
Or if you want to stay in here for the 10 or so minutes it'll take me to get out of this armor. I think Atherby just, chucks off his pack, throws down the weapons, and just starts...
Strip.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, this is not the weirdest undressing that's ever happened in front of me.
I want us to actually sit here for the 10 minutes that it would take for Atherby to
Every so often, I need you to make a clang sound, though.
doff his armor.
That's only a 6 for a performance check for the...
Stripping.
I think halfway through, I'm going, no. Okay. I do not think you are getting your motivation here.
Eventually, you are fully doffed. And
In public?
In public. Just doffing in front of God and everyone.
Yep, I mean, he probably has enough on to prevent chafing, but that's about it.
Oh, yeah, there's the, what is it called? A gamble?
Gambeson?
Gambeson, that's the one.
Mm.
Padding.
Atherby in his nightgown. Staying there for everyone. No, okay, so yeah, you take all the armor and you shove it into the bag, and the bag still weighs 5 pounds.
I could also maybe give somebody a little bit of a boost.
Also, I suppose that was enough time while I was doffing for the others to try and time out the gusts, see if there's any regularity.
Yes, they
I'll
seem
try to
like
count.
they're not in perfect sync. It doesn't like there's like not a perfect rhythm to it, but somewhere between every 5 to 15 seconds.
Seconds. Okay.
It would definitely happen. It would be difficult to span the entire length of bridge in that amount of time.
So, it is going to be difficult to get across, but you can prepare yourself for one of them happening. So that's good.
Okay, and the air pushes up out of the.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well.
Oh, I have another idea.
Mm-hmm.
So going across? What's the thing made? Is it just vines? How big?
Yeah.
How big is it?
There's some thick vines. Like I'd say between 2 C's and 3 C's in a Q.
Okay, got it. Do either of you have a rope?
I think I have rope in my pack. Let me see.
I do
I have a
not.
hunting trap. It's
Yep,
like that big.
I've got 50 feet of rope.
I am thinking, we could loop the rope around us and the vines, loosely tie it off, shimmy across to hold you to the, hold you down in case something terrible happens.
Good idea.
All right. Let's do that.
So who's going first?
So are we just doing one at a time, or are we going to try and tie us all together into the vine?
Ooh. Maybe. I'm trying to remember. Are Wild and Atherby like the same bigness? They're both pretty tall.
No, Atherby's 5'6".
Oh, okay, then yeah, I'm definitely taller than you. Maybe I should go less.
Alright, if you think that's for the best. And how far apart are the different vines? Or is it just one vine?
It's like one vine that's like multiple vines wrapped or like intertwined.
But there aren't multiple vine bridges available?
It looks like there might be some like further down, but there are a couple of them, but they're not like really close together.
Yeah, well, suppose then Harmony and I can go across with a rope attaching us, and then I don't really have a good way to get the rope back across to you.
Oh, I've got a rope.
And I
Just
guess
show me how to tie it.
Atherby would know several knots because he used to be a sailor, so
Yeah.
That's true.
Really good.
demo.
Okay, I will go with you.
Okay.
Please don't let me die.
Okay, so let me understand the nature that you're tying a rope around. Harmony's going first, or
I think Atherby's going first with rope around him, attached to Harmony, attached to the vine.
Loop.
Okay.
Loop. Loop.
Okay. So the two of you begin to shimmy your way across. You kind of wrap your arms and legs and kind of have to hang a little bit and just kind of caterpillar your way across the vines. I need you both to make athletics checks.
I have been rolling garbage. That's only a 9.
13.
Oh no.
18 and 9. Okay. So the two of you begin to shimmy your way across. Atherby, you're having a hard time and moving very slowly, trying to get across. And no, it's just a bad day for Atherby. Well, maybe worked out too much the day before. Just having a hard time. So Harmony, you're getting across a little bit faster, but you are behind Atherby, so kind of left by having to move at the same speed as him, which means you get about a third of the way across, and then there is a gust of wind that comes shooting up from below. I need you both to make strength saving throws.
+3 because of my aura. 13.
16.
Nice. Okay. You both manage to hold on as the wind blasts and you are almost pulled from the vines, but you maintain your grip. You need to shimmy your way across. Both make athletics checks again.
18.
15.
Okay. You shimmy across a little bit faster. You make it past the halfway point, and you have just a little bit further to go on the bridge when another gust of wind comes, but you're almost at the edge. Go to both make strength saving throws again.
I feel like the rope is helping.
You imagine the rope might help if one of you fails.
16
Okay. 2
plus 3.
5. Okay. What was yours after being?
16.
Okay, you maintain your grip and Harmony. You try, and then you get pulled off kind of in an upwards trajectory, and then you begin to fall. The rope goes taut. I'd like Atherby to just roll a d20 for me.
Okay.
Rope integrity.
How close are they to the edge again?
Close.
Are they like almost there?
Yes.
Who wants to guess what I rolled?
It looks like a natural 1.
Oh no.
Yep.
And as Harmony hits, the rope goes taut and then just snaps.
Goodbye.
And you sort of spin for a moment and then Harmony just disappears into the darkness.
Oh no.
She has her wings, right? She did that trick once before. Maybe she'll remember. Because I don't think I have anything I can do that wouldn't just
I don't have,
going down and plummeting with her.
yeah, I don't have flying creatures yet.
Does it seem to be a very far fall?
You fall and very quickly everybody sort of disappears from above you, and as you continue to fall and kind of twirling down the darkness, I mean, you fall for a couple of seconds.
I'm gonna pop my wings out.
Make a dexterity saving throw for me just to kind of get your, like, this is mostly an initiative check.
Okay. 12.
Okay. So here's what happens. Atherby, you see her disappear in the darkness. Also, you manage to climb the rest of the way across and pull yourself up onto the ledge and look down. The two of you are looking down for a good moment. And you don't hear an impact. You don't hear any screaming. You fear the worst. And then suddenly you see a bright light down in the darkness below. And in an instant, you feel a gust of wind as the wind comes shooting up from below, and Harmony comes rocketing out, her angel wings extended. From
I think at that point you hear
darkness.
screaming.
like a jet plane. And I don't think you can stop yourself in
Just
80 feet as you go shooting straight up in the air.
There is more distance underneath me for me to be able to get my bearings.
And you look down, you can see Wild on one side of the cliff and Atherby on the other, and the broken rope between them.
See, I knew she'd do it.
I very quickly go land on the other side. They don't last that long.
How long do they last?
I think it's 1 minute.
Okay.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
I mean, you've got a good 45.
1 minute. Okay.
45, 50 seconds left, unless you want to try to get Wild across.
Okay, so the vine across broke, not the rope.
No, the rope broke. The vine is okay.
Okay, so there's still a vine across.
Yes.
Okay. Don't worry, I got this. Then as
Okay.
she like thumbs up. He like thumbs up, it like turns into a tentacle and he turns into an octopus.
Okay, you're gonna try to climb
Starts like
across.
sliding across the rope.
That's an octopus. Oh, gee,
amazing.
that's a really good idea, actually. Does the octopus have a climb speed?
I don't
I'm
know.
just curious.
Let me look. Traits: hold breath,
Like it
underwater
should.
camouflage. No, it doesn't say. I'm not seeing anything about a climbing speed.
They clearly
As a
didn't.
swim speed.
Yeah, they didn't think that through. Okay, well, here's what I'll say. You're an octopus. It's very easy with your 8 legs and arms to climb your way across. You're moving very slow because I think your speed is like 10 feet on land.
Oh yeah, it's only 10 feet. It takes like an hour.
So there's
Starts donning his armor again.
Oh yeah, by the time I get over there.
you in your octopus form, you slowly kind of like just pulling yourself across. I will just have you make one strength saving throw with advantage.
Okay. With advantage.
This is for the gusts of wind mostly.
With advantage, that's a natural 20.
Oh geez, I think it's like a +3 for the giant octopus too.
Yes, it is +3. 23.
Yeah, you're fine. You octopus your way across very, very slowly. And by the time you make it to the other side, Atherby, you have donned your armor.
Yes, I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
As Wild was going, Atherby would have been making that little conversation. Now, I thought about cutting the vine and diving after you, but then we would have been out of luck in getting across. And you heard me yelling about your wings, right? I knew you had that.
I can do this very rarely. And this is not what I wanted to waste it on, but we are alive. That is what matters. I'm fine. Totally fine. Not bothered at all. Why would I be?
I'm sure your deception score is better than that.
Sometimes we like to be honest with our friends, but fine.
Oh, we're friends now, are we? Thought we were still, I don't know. I don't know what you call people.
I will leave you in this Tarrasque.
I mean, I just thought. It doesn't matter what I thought.
I'm sure it wasn't much. Let's go!
You guys get a brief little rest in the shade that is being thrown, and continue your way towards the bone grotto. And it's not too long for you to find it. You can see in maybe about a quarter mile away from this crevasse, there is you see these. The stone here is being littered in kind of smaller bone fragments, and then which steadily give way to much larger bone spires, kind of peeking up out of the ground, and until you can see just spread throughout this desert-looking terrain, hundreds and hundreds of bones of varying shapes and sizes. Most of them very, very large. But all of them picked clean and long dead. And it's amidst this bone garden that you can see the wreckage that Alan pointed out to you that Lex had found. There appears to be some sort of, again, wood and metal of some sort of construction that you can't quite make out what it might have once been, but it was partially mechanical, partially wooden, and it's sort of in smack dab in the middle of this boneyard, and you can see there's kind of stacked on top of each other. A lot of this debris has sort of been piled up, and on top there's sort of a rudimentary sort of slightly sloped platform, and you can see a figure currently sitting on top of that platform. From a distance, they look to be about halfling sized.
How far away are we right now?
Maybe about 500 feet or so.
Lex, your father sent us to find you.
You see the figure kind of small in the distance stand up, and they sort of wave their arms, and they shout something. You just hear,
Say that again in like a minute when we're closer.
you just,
I wonder why she's up there on that platform.
Probably so she doesn't get
What's
eaten.
she doing up there?
Yeah, there's probably some kind of nasty crawling around in there.
And I'm sure
Ma-
they all just heard you.
I mean, I don't think we'd be able to sneak out of here with her anyway.
No, but I mean... I just start walking. Quickly. Very quickly. Maybe it's running. I think it's running. I start running. Told him.
all right, you all start jogging through the bone grotto, and if, before long you kind of weaving your way amongst these larger bones. You lose sight of it at some point, but your sense of direction leads you eventually to this platform, and you come out and you can see this large structure, and you can't see Lex right now, but you know that she's at the top of it. As you come running out, she sticks her head over the top, and she looks down. She has sort of a panicked look in her eyes, and she says, "Ah, damn it! I said, shit, run! It's a trap, dumbasses!" And as she says this, you hear a growling behind you, and you see a about 6 foot tall, reddish scaled lizard creature with long talons come slowly walking out from behind one of these bone spires, and it looks at you with this intelligence in its eyes for a moment, locking on. Before, as you look at it, you're distracted by it for a second. Suddenly, two come running out from either side of you, flanking you from either direction, and they let out a roar, which again doesn't work. I'm so angry. I'm going to fix this on the break as they rush in to attack you. And that's where we're going to take our break, so I can figure out my sound issues, and we'll come back to do that. So we will be back in a couple minutes, everyone. And welcome back, Internet, to Tarrasque Dark. We are here doing dinosaur stuff and playing in a one-shot. So thanks for hanging out with us. We'll do more announcements at the end. We got stuff. Look at our schedule. It's below. Let's fight as you guys see these creatures coming running in. I got music. Here we go. These raptor-like creatures come darting in from either side. They let out a screech. That was very quiet. Let's do that again. There are 3 of them. They each screech. That's still very quiet. I hate you, Roll20. Why you do this to me? Okay, that's fine. They screech a couple times. Let's all roll initiative.
I just heard one.
You heard it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. We're at 14. Okay. Harmony, I think you were up first.
Are they close to each other?
They are encircling you.
Okay.
So yes and no. 2 of them are closer, one of them's a little further away.
Okay. Oh, this will work. Yeah, I'm okay. So we're doing this. Yeah, I'm gonna go up to the ones that are closer together.
Okay.
I'm gonna do stabs.
Okay. So you can pretty much just like go to one to either side of you. So you just go to head off one of them as they're darting in your
Okay, but
direction.
that's what I was asking, if like any of them were like close together.
No, so it's like your little group. One's over here that was looking at you menacingly. 2 came from the sides.
Okay, so the answer is then no.
Yes,
They're
no.
not next to each other. Okay. I have a thing that lets me hit things that are close together.
Oh, no, sorry.
I just want to know if they're close together. Okay.
Not as of right now. You got to go before they actually got right up on you guys.
Fine, just gonna try to stab one twice. Well, one of those is really bad. That's a 9.
That misses.
The other one is a 21.
That hits.
Yay. I'm gonna use one of my blade flourishes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use a defensive flourish. So it takes rogue dice. 10 piercing damage.
Okay.
And then I add 3 to my armor class for the next turn.
Cool. All right. So that ends your turn or anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. It's now going to be their turn. So the one that's sort of menacingly looking at all of you stays where it's at this turn. It doesn't actually move in for the strike. It watches and kind of surveys from a distance. One of them gets headed off by kind of met halfway by Harmony. You guys' names so similar. By Harmony. The other one runs its full 60 feet of movement, and it is sort of leaps into the air at, we'll say, wild. And it's going to make a claw attack against you.
At disadvantage because I use my protection fighter.
Ooh, nice.
Is that the thing? Yes, it's protection fighter. I have too many shield things.
Okay.
But so my reaction to impose disadvantage.
Okay, so you can sort of try to interpose yourself. It rolls a 14 to hit.
Where's my armor class? 15 is my AC.
Nice. Okay, so it is deflected off of your shield as it goes in for the strike and does not hit, so it does not get that. And then the other one that's with Harmony is not able to use its pounce either, so it's just going to go for a bite attack against you.
Okay.
That's not supposed to be with disadvantage. That's a 22 to hit.
No, that hits anyway.
So that's going to be 17 points of piercing damage.
Cool.
That is going to end their turns, though. Wild.
Okay. Is the one that's further back, is it within 90 feet of me?
It is, yes.
I would like to cast Entangle right where it's standing.
Okay.
Let's see. Click. So, it has to make a strength save.
Okay. And that music stopped. It's not on repeat, that's why. Strength saving throw. That's an 18.
Nope, it's freed.
Okay, but it is still difficult terrain in the area, correct?
Yes, a 20-foot square, and I just did it right underneath it, and yeah, it's difficult terrain.
Cool.
So some vines came up, tried to grab it, but it rips free.
All right. Awesome. Anything else for your turn?
Let's see. Bonus action. I would like to, let's see. I'm going to not do anything. Sorry.
Okay.
It took me a while to get to. Sorry.
Atherby, is your turn.
Oh boy. I think to jeez. The one that got Harmony chomped her pretty good.
It's dead.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's see. You know what? Let's get a little silly. I cast Moonbeam on the one that attacked Harmony.
Okay.
So, giant moon laser shoots down. It needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. It's an 11.
That fails, so it takes the full 10 radiant damage.
All right. Ouch.
Yeah, and now there's just it's basically a spotlight shown down right in front of Harmony, encapsulating the raptor, but not getting her.
Okay, perfect.
And I don't really have anything I can do for a bonus action. So that's my turn.
Okay. And Harmony is back to you.
Cool, I'm gonna stab it.
Okay.
Again. Oh my god. I rolled a 1 and a 3.
Yeah, I mean, what's your bonus? What's the total? They don't have a super high AC.
Well, the 1 is a 1. 9.
Yeah, that'll miss.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Cool, I'll use a bonus action to cast Healing Word on myself.
Probably a good idea.
Oh no, okay. Where's my D4?
Okay. You can gain 8 hit points. That's pretty good.
Yep.
That'll put it back to the creature's turns.
The one that's in the moonbeam needs to make another con save.
Yes, he does. 13?
Nope. So he's gonna take 9 more radiant damage.
Thanks. Okay. That one is just gonna kind of like, if it's like kind of past Harmony, I think it will kind of circle around, which will say kind of puts it between a little bit closer to you, Atherby, but it takes itself out of the moonbeam, the ouchie light, as much as it can, but it stays within melee of Harmony. It's gonna make a claw attack against you, Harmony, as it goes past. That's a 14 to hit.
Ah! Yeah, that hits.
It's only 5 slashing damage though.
Okay.
The other one that's attacking that was attacking Wild is going to try to make another attack against Wild.
Disadvantage again.
Okay, this time with a bite. Disadvantage. I rolled very well. That's a 23 with disadvantage.
Oh yeah, that hits.
For 16 piercing damage.
Okay.
I'll say the last one, the boss Mama Raptor, is going to start trying to run towards you guys, but I'll say with the entangle that keeps it from being able to get fully up in your grill right now. It was pretty far off because they can run very fast, but not able to make it. Wild, it is your turn.
Okay. I would like to smack the one in front of me.
Okay.
With my quarterstaff. Okay. Does 16 hit?
16 will hit.
Okay. Let's see. That's Ooh, really good. 13 bludgeoning.
Ow. Okay.
And then, as a bonus action, I would like to wild shape into a dire wolf.
Okay. Dire wolf form. I'll drop that.
And then rah.
I'll just sort of put the dire wolf on top of you for right now. And okay, you're a dire wolf.
Ooh.
So as you anamorph into your direwolf form, Atherby, is your turn.
All right. With the moonbeam and being able to move at 60 feet, can I sort of figure eight it around and zap all the dinos without?
Oh shit! Zap all of them?
As many as I can, because it's just whenever they enter it for the first time on a turn or start its turn there.
60 feet?
Yep.
I'll say you get 2 of them.
Okay. If I can, the ones that are on me and Harmony.
Okay.
So not the mama.
Yeah.
Yet.
Okay. Go roll
So con
your
saves.
con saves, yeah. Con save. It's 16 and 11.
The 16 succeeds, so it's going to take half damage on this.
Okay.
Ooh, that is very good. I rolled a 10 and a 9, so 19 radiant.
Jeez. Okay, so 9 points of damage to one. 18 point damage to the other. Jeez. Okay, both of them are looking very, very bad now.
Yep, and I'll have the beam end on one of them, so it starts its turn there.
Okay. The one that was biting or the biting Harmony, or the one that's biting your direwolf friend?
The one that was biting Harmony.
Okay. So you can do that. You can kind of bring it back around to that one. Okay. Anything else for your turn? All right. Harmony is your go.
I stab.
All right. Stab away.
Okay. Way better than last time. 24 for the first
Yes.
one.
Yes, definitely.
And 21 for the second one.
Yes, both hit.
Dunk on him. "22 points of piercing damage."
That one's dead. I don't have a death noise, so it's just the same noise.
And I'm gonna use my bonus action to inspire Athelby.
Okay.
And I just look very good doing stabs.
Okay. You stab it with panache.
She's a like professional like defensor, I guess, so it looks very good.
Okay.
And I just look at Athelby and I'm like, yeah.
All right. That's going to bring it to the Raptor's turns. Mama Raptor is going to continue running. I think she's going to run straight at Atherby.
She run through the moonbeam by chance?
Oh, geez. Yeah, let's say sure.
She loves to be in the spotlight.
Need this fight to go quickly, so let's do that. That's an 18, so it's going to be half damage.
Yeah.
I still got a whole act to get through, so.
Oh, well, that was minimum damage, so she takes 1 radiant.
Oh, jeez.
I rolled 2
The
ones.
dice giveth and the dice taketh away.
Yeah.
She runs straight at you and she's gonna leap in the air and try to make a claw attack against you using her pounce.
Disadvantage with my shield.
It's at you.
Or-
Can you do?
Right.
I don't think you can give disadvantage on attack against yourself.
Yeah, a creature other than me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you have something else. I know you have a million things.
No.
Okay. It's a 19 to hit.
Oh, that just hits.
It's so if that hits, then you take 12 points of slashing damage,
Okay.
and I need you to make a strength saving throw.
All right. Let me do the health. And then strength save. Oh, that's a natural 20, so 26.
Okay, so it kind of lands on top of you. It tries to like digs its claws in your armor and tries to use its weight to push you down into the ground. But you just 1 foot goes back and you sort of flex your knees a bit, but maintain your height and throw your shield up. And then she just leaps backwards off of you and begins sort of stalking in front of you, preparing for her next strike because she was unable to tear you to the ground.
I do need to make a con save, but I think also the other raptor would have still been in the moonbeam. So I don't know if you want to have it do its save and then make my concentration check, or
That one is dead. The
Okay.
one that was in the moonbeam is the one that
okay.
killed.
So
Killed.
concentration check. Oh, that's not as great. That's 12, but against 12 damage, that should be fine.
Yeah, that's fine. You just had to make a 10.
Yeah.
So you maintain concentration, still up. There's one other raptor who I think is going to attack the wolf. Bite. That's a 14 to hit. I think that's the wolf's armor class.
Yeah, that is the wolf's armor class.
That's 10 piercing damage to your dire wolf.
Okay.
That was bad damage rolls. Okay, that's it. Wild, is your turn.
Okay. I'm a attack the wolf that was attacking my friend. I mean, the raptor was attacking my friend. And because I'm a wolf, I get pack tactics.
You do.
I get advantage on bite. Oh, that's good because I rolled pretty low. 16?
16 will hit.
Okay. Oh shoot, I have to make this thing bigger so I can read what it says. Okay, it's 2d6. Also, it needs to make a strength save.
Okay,
I
strength
tried
save.
2 pounds.
I think that succeeds. It's a 20.
Yeah. Okay, and it takes 8 piercing damage.
Okay. That boy's hurt. Very hurt.
Okay.
Anything else?
Yeah, as a bonus action, I would also like to rage.
Oh, geez, Rage Wolf.
So you guys see this sort of like black smoke start to come off of the wolf, and its like eyes go like red.
Okay.
Just like is biting into this.
All right. Ragey Wolf. Atherby, it is your turn.
I took zoom away for a second. Moonbeam, laser, starting with the little one, ending on the mama.
All right, make 2 con saves. 21 and a 10.
21 succeeds, the 10 does not.
All right, so little one takes half, mama takes full.
That's better. That's 15 radiant damage.
Okay, so 7 to the little one and 15. All right. You're gonna end it on mama?
Yep.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
All right. Harmony, is your turn.
Okay, so there's 2 left.
Yes.
The regular one and the mom one.
Yes. Yeah. Little one is looking really rough. Mama, not so much.
Okay. Well, heck, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna look over at the mama raptor and try to cast blindness on her.
Okay. Is that a con save?
I think so. Yes.
That is a 12.
That fails. Okay.
So what, she's blinded?
Yes.
All right. Mama's raptor's eyes go dark. Anything else on your turn?
Nope, that's it. I'm just very glad it worked.
All right. That is now the Allosaurus's or the raptor's turns. I need the mood mean damage on Mama Raptor.
Yep. 16.
All right. And she fails her save.
Okay.
16 points of damage. Okay. And so she will make an attack roll with disadvantage at Atherby.
Bring it.
That's only an 11.
It misses. She did not bring enough.
So she tries to bite at you and just bites at the air. Does not even know where you are right now. The other one will attempt to make a bite attack against Rage Wolf.
Yeah.
With not disadvantage. It's only an 8 though.
Nope.
I accidentally rolled with advantage, but that didn't matter. That messes very badly. That ends their turns. Wild Rage Wolf. Wild thing.
Okay. I'm gonna bite that one. Try to bite me.
Do it.
Okay. Is Atherby still within 5 feet?
Sure.
Okay. 26 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. So it gets. Oh, I rolled really good. 17 piercing.
Jeez. And you added your rage damage to that?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. It is dead. Very dead.
It's thrown out.
Yeah. You dig your teeth into its throat and rip it to the ground. And I almost missed the sound effect. As it is choked out. End of that creature's life. Anything else for your turn?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Atherby.
Since I don't have to move the space laser around and I'm just keeping it on Mama, I draw my +1 longsword and I try and attack Mama.
Okay.
That is dirty 20 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
For 9 slashing damage.
Nice.
And second attack 22 to hit
Also hits.
for 11 slashing damage.
That's all she wrote. And as Mama watches both of her children, her babes die, I think the darkness overtaking her eyes, so she gets to miss the final death blow on the other baby, and then the sweet release of death comes soon after. You cleave her in twain, and that's the end of the Raptors.
Ooh, I forgot to make my text at advantage, but it's fine.
Oh wait,
Clearly. Just to see if it would have been a crit. Nope.
So
Got it.
The with the combat ending and sort of a sense of quiet overtaking the bone grotto, once again you see Lex's head sort of peek out over the platform. She says, are they dead?
Very.
Good.
Yeah.
And I dropped the moonbeam.
It was
Catch.
a trap. They just did not know it was for them.
She says catch, and she hurls two very large gears off the,
Elsa, we catch
off
it!
the platform.
Yeah, I'll try and catch him.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
19.
19. Okay, yeah. You catch both of them in your arms with a loud clang. It's the second one. Lands on top of the first, and she says, nice. And she jumps down off the platform, or swinging down, landing next to you. You see a blonde halfling girl wearing a baseball cap, which I have added to the universe now. And she says, did my dad send you?
Yes.
Okay, cool. We need to get back. Right now, we need to get out of here. I feel like we've only got about 49 minutes left until we gotta go.
That is very specific.
Yeah, so let's hoof it. Let's go.
Are you hurt? Are you okay?
Nah, I'm scrappy. I brought some snacks with me, so I've been fine.
Oh, good. Always prepared.
Ah, she's like the kid in the third one.
So, briefly before, I think as Atherby is transferring the gears into the haversack, just pats Harmony on the shoulder for 10 more lay on hands, and then also does some more lay on hands for himself. So I am tapped on lay on hands, but we should be much healthier now.
I thank you.
Okay.
Sylvie, who is your god again? Who's that is?
Sylvanus.
Right. Tell them I said thank you.
Sylvanus, Almany, whatever her 3 middle names and last name are, thanks you.
One of them is Danger.
Just to confirm. I would like to take a claw from one of these raptors before heading out.
Okay.
I think like Wild as a wolf just like eventually calmed down, but like ripped this one to shreds and then changed back into Wild and was like grabs the claw.
Okay. So yeah, you rip out you got yourself a raptor claw. And you all begin to run with Lex back through the jungles, make it across the crevasse again. We'll say without issue this time. You make it through the jungles, avoiding the toxic plants, and eventually make it back to the valley where all of the dinosaurs were grazing before. As you reach the edge of the valley, where you saw the God, they're yelling so much out there. As you reach the edge of the valley, where you saw the Triceratops before, and Lex has told you the names of all things. She named all these creatures. She tells you what dinosaurs are and stuff like that. We just don't have time to go through that now. You come up to the Triceratops where you'd seen them previously, and as you're approaching, you can see some large sort of like carrion birds nearby. And as you come out from the tree line, you see most of the Triceratops are off in the distance, like way far away, grazing. But there is one dead Triceratops here that looks like it's been like torn to shreds, like something very large got a hold of it and just ate this thing right up. But you go running past, don't care, keep running, eventually making your way back to the cave where Alan is. And as you come through the waterfall, Lex goes, Dad, and you hear Alan, is that, are you back? Lex, and they come running up, and he gives her a big hug, almost knocking her baseball cap off, and he writes it on her head, and he says, are you all right? And she says, yeah, I'm fine. I got the parts. I think we can finish it with these. And she shows him the gears, and he says, I think you're right. I'll need to install them right away. Thank you all so much for everything you did to help. If there's, I've got the reward ready. Everything's loaded up into the whirly-bird, and we're going to once we get out of here, I'll give you your portion of the reward. But let's you all look exhausted. I'm going to get started on it. Rest up. Come meet me out back, and we'll get going as soon as I'm done. It should only take me maybe an hour and a half or so to get this thing up and running. All right. So he goes running out back, and Lex says, "I'm gonna go with him, but if anything, just come right back out once you're done." And she goes running out the back. So you guys have a moment to take a short rest or anything if you need to.
Yes, I would like to use it die.
Yeah.
As a motorcycle comes driving past, I'm having to work a lot of things into this setting now.
Yeah.
I do a song of rest.
It sounds like a motorcycle.
Yep. It's a very good impression of a motorcycle.
It's the beginning to Hot for Teacher is the song of rest.
It is. But I roll a d6. It's an extra 4.
Is that Panama? I don't know. Anyway, yeah. How much was it?
You tell me.
4? I heard 4.
Yeah.
You all heal 4.
Okay, I'm all topped up.
Alrighty. All healed up, all ready to go. And you can hear some clanging and clattering outside as the Sattlers are working on their on the construction, and you head out through the back tunnel to meet them out there, and you can see Alan and Lex both in the machine, currently trying to fit one of the gears back into the motor that sort of runs the blades on the whirly-bird. And as you are watching them putting the thing together, and they're hammering, it's like kang, 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 and making a lot of noise, you see off in the distance some birds come flying up over the treetops. And a few seconds after that, you hear a thud. And another. And the sound of something moving, similar to before, but not quite as loud.
Y'all almost ready there, Doc? I think we got company headed our way.
He says, I'm going to work as fast as I can. It's going to take me a little bit longer, maybe 10 minutes or so, or I'm not. And you hear from the distance another sound. As more birds come flying up, and you hear Lex say, "Oh no, that's not. We got to work fast. That thing's bad news." And they begin to panic, and Alan shouts out. He says, "Just whatever you do, keep it away from the whirly-bird. We have to keep this thing in one piece. I'll get it running as fast as I can, and we'll try to get out of here. Just distract it however you can.
Do not leave without us."
No, of course not.
and you hear cracking of the branches and the trees as one of them sort of is uprooted and falls over about 30 yards into the undergrowth, and then poking its head out from the branches and the trees, you see a massive lizard head like the ones that you've seen before, but 5 or 6 times larger, with teeth almost the size of your head jutting out from its overbite, and as its head sort of traces around the this clearing, it locks eyes onto the whirlybird and all of you. I don't need the footsteps because it's not moving now, and then it retracts back into the trees for a moment, disappearing from sight, and then suddenly it comes smashing out, letting out another massive roar as it does, as it comes charging across the clearing in your direction. Let's roll for initiative.
Oh, man. Oh, that was poopy.
I'm not going to do that one. I'm going to do this one. All right, it got really loud for a second, guys. Okie dokie.
Oh.
And we'll roll for its initiative, which is a natural 1. Because
Whoa.
it wouldn't be a boss fight if my boss didn't roll terribly. All right. Armani, it is your turn.
Okay, great. Is it very close to me?
It's maybe about 40 feet away.
Wonderful. I'm gonna start like moving. I want to like skirt around it away from the whirlybird.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna cast Thunder Wave because that's loud as hell.
Okay.
At it. It's a Constitution save. I'm sure it's not gonna hurt it very much, but it makes a very loud sound.
Constitution saving throw. It's a 20.
Yep. So it takes half of 12 thunder damage.
All right, 6 points of thunder damage. Okay, as boom, there's this explosion of sound, and the T-Rex sort of lists for a second and turns its head towards you and lets out kind of another snarling growl in your direction. Anything else for your turn?
Nope.
All right, Atherby.
Okay, I'm going to start by attempting to compel the T-Rex to duel me. So it needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
All right, dueling T-Rexes. It
As you do as a paladin.
rolls a 13 on its save.
That fails, so it is compelled to duel me. And since I can tell that it is taken hold, I will yell out to my allies, "Don't hurt it or it's going to be able to run away and go buck wild." And I will then use my action to dash around past it, because part of compelled duel is it needs to make a wisdom save if it tries to move more than 30 feet away from me. So now it's going to need to make a wisdom save if it wants to get closer to the whirlybird.
Okay, so you dash around in the other direction to hopefully pull it towards you. You're able to get about like 30 feet away from it, be towards the tree line. Very cool. Okay. That ends Atherby's turn as the T-Rex sort of follows you, tracking you the whole way, now intent on you.
Yep.
Wild?
Oh goodness. Okay. I would. Okay, so if I force it to do a saving throw, it'll break the compel duel.
Yeah.
No, I think it's only if you damage it or cast a harmful spell on it. But if you don't do any damage to it, then compel duel stays up.
Okay.
Oh yeah, creatures spending damage is target. Yeah, so you can do other things to it as long as it doesn't harm it.
Okay, because I was just checking again. If I do entangle on it, that doesn't do any damage. It just does a.
Nope. Yeah.
So I'm gonna try again.
Okay, was that a
Entangle a beastie. Let me click it.
strength saving throw?
Yes, it is a strength save. He's like, vines come up and try to grab it.
That's a 15.
What is my DC? I don't remember. It saves.
It saves.
So, yeah. Well, it has to walk through tough, difficult terrain.
It does. Oh, okay, so there's 20 feet of difficult terrain around it that's going to have to get through. May hinder its ability to get to Atherby on its turn. Anything else in your turn?
No, not yet.
Okay. That'll be the T-Rex's turn. Yeah, I'll say, so it has movement, so it's going to take it 40 feet to get out. Yeah, it's not going to be able to make it, I think, to Atherby. I think it's about 10 feet. Oh, nope, it has a reach of 10 feet. Never mind. Yeah, I think it's going to make it to Atherby even still, but that's all its movement to get to him. So it can't position itself in a way where it's going to get both of its attacks. So it is going to make a bite attack against Atherby.
Bring it.
It's a 29 to hit.
It has been brought.
That is 41 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And I need you to make a... nope, you're just grappled.
Okay, well, I'm making a concentration check. Oh, that's pretty good. That's 22, which I think still beats the half damage.
Yeah, I think so. It just barely beats the half damage. So you maintain concentration on your compelled duel for better or for worse. That's all it can do on its turn because it can't attack you with its other attack, and no one else within range. So Harmony, it is your turn.
Okay. I guess I'm not supposed to stab it.
Ow, ow, how you can hurt it?
Okay, I'm gonna stab it.
Okay.
I do get some stabs. Oh gosh, okay. 24 and 21.
Both hit.
Okay. Ooh, I don't think any of my flourishes are gonna help in this fight. 22 slashing damage.
That's really good. 22 points of slashing damage. As you run up and you stab twice near the knees of this T-Rex, and it lets out a growl and a roar through Atherby, who your head, I think, is like stuck into the mouth of this creature, and you just get a face full of disgusting carnivore breath.
Hey, let go! For the second time today.
Yeah, and it looks back to you, just Atherby's legs like flailing out of its mouth, and it looks at you with some anger. That'll end Harmony's turn. Atherby, unless there's anything you want to do with your bonus action.
Yeah, I'm gonna inspire Atherby, I guess.
Okay, good shot, good idea. Atherby, you hear an inspiring
Let go!
words. Yeah. What would you like to do?
For my bonus action, I will cast Thunderous Smite. So that if I hit it, it takes extra damage, and maybe this will do something, although it's a very strong boy. But first I have to try and hit it.
Do it.
that's a little cocked. That is 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay, so let's see. Let me do the normal slashing damage first. 10 slashing plus, let me do the thunder. 5 thunder. It needs to make a strength check or strength saving throw or be pushed away, knocked prone.
That is a 22.
Yeah, that succeeds. And then let me go ahead and do 1 level of Divine Smite.
Okay.
For 10 radiant damage.
Ow. Okay. All from
Uh,
inside its mouth.
yep, and that's just my first attack.
Yep.
Now for my second attack. Oh, I don't know if I can even get. I don't think inspiration's gonna save me there. I'll try. What's your inspiration? How much is it?
D8.
Okay, so that is currently an 11 to hit.
Okay.
Does a 16 hit from inside its mouth?
That'll hit.
Okay. For that was a 1 on the damage, so 5 slashing. And since it's probably gonna kill me, let me do 1 more. No, let me do 2 divine smites and use up all my spell slots, because I'm probably gonna go down next round. Hold on, can I do more than 1 spell slot at a time, or can I only do different?
It's different levels. So
Okay,
you
so I
do
can
a
only
second
do-
level or do a first level.
Okay, well I only have first level, so
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
doing 1. Whoops, come on, sheet. So that's pretty good. That's 11 radiant damage.
Nice. Okay. Hey, it's not happy about that.
Yeah, but there's not a lot I can do. Too bad I used up my Misty Step stuff earlier.
Anything else, Atherby?
Nope, that was everything.
Wild is your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna run up to it, and as I'm running up, I pull out a leaf and cast Flame Blade.
Oh,
So sword appears in my hands, and I'm gonna attack it.
okay. Make your attack.
Let's see. What is my? Okay, melee spell attack. So 16.
16 will hit.
Yes. Okay, so that's 3d6. 10, 14. Yeah, 14. Fire. Damn.
Ow, jeez. Okay, the fire erupts from your hands, and you slash across it, burning the side of its body with this searing blade of flame, and it lets out a hearty roar as you do that. Is that? I think that's your action and bonus action.
Yes.
Okay.
My movement was to run up to it, so yeah.
It's the T-Rex's turn. A lot of people around it, so I think here's what it's going to do. I think it drops Atherby from its mouth onto the ground, and it turns to Harmony to make a bite attack. And that's going to be a 16 to hit.
Yep.
Am I close enough that I could impose disadvantage with my shield?
Sure. I'll say yes. You land on your feet and you attempt to impose disadvantage.
Right back in its mouth. Take
Okay,
me back, I liked it there.
Against all odds, I think it's going to roll. It rolls a 13 to hit.
That misses me.
So I think that does miss you. Those terrible rolls. And then it is going to strike out with its tail against Wild, though.
Okay.
That's a 16 to hit.
Ooh, that hits.
for 25 bludgeoning damage.
Ouch. Okay.
So it attempts to bite down at Harmony, and then Atherby comes out of nowhere and just slams it with his shield, sending the jaw just a little bit off, and just snaps at the air with this concussive blast of air, Harmony, that almost knocks you over on its own. And then its tail comes sweeping out behind it and strikes into Wild.
Okay. Let's see if I keep my flame blade.
Yes.
I just took the Warcaster feat, so I get advantage.
Nice. It's DC 12.
It's Constitution, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Saving throw. So if you have proficiency in con saves.
Oh, dang it. I rolled an 11.
11?
Dang it. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's no way he's within 10 feet of me.
Sure, we'll say it. Let's go for it. So it's a plus 3.
Plus 3. Is that enough?
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
that'll be enough
yeah.
to keep it.
oh,
And that will end the Trex's turn. Harmony, it is your turn, and at the top of your turn, you hear a noise from across the clearing. This dun, 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 and you look over and you see the blade of the whirly bird begin to spin up, and Lex reaches out, stands out the side, and she says, it's working. Come on, let's go.
Okay, time to go. Oh no. I'm gonna disengage
Okay.
and just start running.
All right. You disengage and you start running across the clearing towards the helicopter. I'll say you make it about like halfway to the helicopter from there without going into a full dash. But you do put some space between you and the T-Rex.
Great.
Anything else?
I'm gonna inspire Wild.
Okay.
By saying, feeling amazing. Also, it's time to go.
All right. Atherby, it is your turn.
Okay, this may end up getting me killed, but what I'm going to try and do is, as I am running away from the T-Rex, I should probably disengage, shouldn't I? Yeah,
I'm very hit points, dude.
I'm gonna disengage first, and hopefully I can do what I want to do on the next turn. So yeah, disengage and run to the whirly bird.
Okay. You think you also have speed of 30, so you make it the same place as Harmony. Maybe a little, no, about the same space as Harmony. Anything else on your turn or any bonus actions?
No.
Okay. Wild, it is your turn.
Yeah, I should probably run too. It's gonna catch this, guys. It's so fast. Yeah, it's also gonna disengage and run away.
Okay.
Back
Any
there.
bonus action? So you make sure you're running as a human and not as something faster.
Yeah, that's what I'm like trying to decide. Not yet. I'm just gonna run as a people still.
Okay. That'll bring it to the Tyrannosaurus Rex's turn. And it does turn around and kind of goosh, watch you all run, and then boom, 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 comes running after you. And you just hear Lex leaning out and watching it running. She's like, it's chasing you, faster, must go faster. And she just yells at you all as you're running. And it is going to catch up with its 50 feet of movement speed. And is going to make a bite attack against Harmony.
At disadvantage?
Disadvantage. It's a 15 with disadvantage.
That hits me.
We didn't hear you.
It hits me.
It hits you. All right. At disadvantage, it's gonna do 37 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And then it is going to swing around with its tail at Wild. That's not supposed to be. Oh nope, that's a natural 1.
Oh,
So it misses. Just passes over like all 3 of your heads as it spins in place and then kind of like loses its balance around. It just goes. Let's have another roar. Oh wait, I have a sound effect for that. What am I doing? All right. That ends its turn. Harmony.
Well, I'm running away.
Okay. Use your action to disengage.
Yep.
All
I
right.
have to.
You go running towards the helicopter and you climb on board. Or Atherby and Wild, are you guys doing the same?
Yeah, I think I need to make it to the whirlybird first.
Okay.
yeah. Yes, and as I'm running, can I do this? Okay, yeah. I would like to healing word harmony as we're running.
Okay.
Let's see. What is this? Over 24. Actually, I'm gonna do it at 2nd level. So I get 2. Okay, so that's 1, 2. That wasn't very much. Anyways, 8.
All right. 8 points of heal damage to Harmony.
I
Okay.
have twice the hit points I had before.
You all climb onto the whirlybird and it begins to lift off the ground, but you hear boom, boom, boom. The T-Rex running up and it opens its mouth wide and goes to take a bite at the tail of the helicopter.
Oh no!
Disadvantage. Shoving my
As you
shield out at it.
slam it again. Just, I think you've dropped your weapon at this point. You're just smacking overhead with the shield every time it attacks, like a disciplining a dog. Bopping it on the nose. It's gonna make a bite attack. Ooh, that's still a 25 to hit. I rolled 3 10s. So it's 43 points of damage to the back of the whirlybird, and you can see smoke kind of sputtering off the back as the T-Rex grabs onto the back of it and maintains its bite, kind of pulling it around in the air, and you hear the motor kind of sputtering as it does. What do you do, Harmony?
I don't know.
If anybody has anything they want to do, I'll just let you guys all
I cast blindness on it.
Okay.
Hey, that's a good idea.
Cast blindness on the T-Rex. Make a con save.
Succeed.
It does succeed with a 23.
Take it.
The blindness almost takes its eyes, but it shakes its head even more, shaking the plane or the whirlybird back and forth. Atherby and Wild.
Can I stab it with my fire sword?
You can. You want to summon your fire sword again?
But I still got it. Because it's concentration. Oh, wait.
I thought you dropped it. No, you kept it. Yeah, you still got it. Go.
I still got it. Okay. Oh, man. Does a 13 hit?
Yeah, that'll hit.
Oh, okay.
That is its AC.
It takes 15 fire damage.
Ooh, 15 fire damage to the face. All right. Atherby?
Yep, so we can reach it from the...
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
sure.
Gonna try and do it a stab. That's 26 to hit
That'll hit.
for 11 slashing.
All right.
And then my second attack. Oh, that's not great, but that still is a 13.
That'll hit.
Yep. And I'm going to use my last spell slot to do another Divine Smite on it. So that is 7 slashing and 9 radiant.
Ooh, 15, 16. No, I can't do math. 17
Plus
points.
9, 16.
Oh, 7 plus 9. Okay.
Yeah.
16 points. Nice. Okay. So here's what happens. The three of you, Harmony casting the blindness spell on it and causing a momentary distraction. The both of you stabbing and firing across it. It snorts and after taking as much damage and looking very bad at this point, decides to let go of the back of the whirlybird, not wanting anything to do with this, and backs off, and the little craft kind of sputters and gets some flight, some air in front of the T-Rex as it takes off and gaining more and more altitude over the trees. The T-Rex lets out one last soulful roar from behind you as you crest over the waterfall and out over towards the valley, and you can see all the dinosaurs down in the valley below, herding around. And for a moment, you see Lex and Alan looking to each other happily, having finally escaped this island together. And as they look out over the the dinosaurs, you see a tear in Alan's eyes, and they both whisper a silent goodbye. That's all I'm going to play of that song because we're going to get dinged for copyright. And you leave the confines of the jungle and into the darkness above, and you fly through darkness for a bit. There's this arcane light in front of you that illuminates this cave sort of passage, this cavernous passage, until way in the front you begin to see light. Surrounded or kind of framed by jagged teeth, and you pass through the massive mouth and the massive teeth of this Tarrasque, which is totally oblivious to your presence given how tiny you all are, and you veer off to the south as you look at this just gargantuan creature passing across the countryside of the Sword Coast, making its way north towards the mountains, back to what home it might have upon this planet that it dominates. And the whirlybird kind of sputters as it makes a southern trajectory towards the town of or the city of Tribor in the distance. And Lex looks over towards all of you and says, "We did it. We did it. Thank you all so much for helping us get off the island, or get out of this thing. I don't know why I called it an island. It's almost like I'm in some sort of movie that I didn't realize that I'm in. Thank you. Anything that we can do for the two of you, we'll take you anywhere you want on this thing. I don't know how much further it'll go, but thank you so much."
Just don't crash. Please.
Alan says, I'm working on it. And he's kind of, the whole thing is kind of swaying side to side as he takes you down to the city. And there are people gathering there, panicked in their homes upon seeing this Tarrasque crossing through or across the land here. Having survived its passage, they look out at this strange contraption with fear and amazement, and you crest down towards the ground. Alan gives you all a firm, dadly handshake of thanks, and hands you a pouch of loot for your taking, in the amount of gemstones and whatnot, totaling 1,500 gold pieces worth, so 500 apiece, and one little mystical, magical pearl in your mixed amongst them, and you guys can decide who gets the pearl of power. But that is the loot, and that is the adventure, and that's all I've got.
Yay! That was
So
great.
thank you, everyone.
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, so thank you, everyone, for watching and hopefully enjoying our trip to Tarrasque-ic, my
Site C, I guess.
Site C. I tried to cram as many references in as I could. I'm sure I missed some easy ones. But yeah, hope you guys had fun. We'll go and wrap this up, and we'll talk about announcements for things coming up later. We've got lots of good streams coming up this week. Check us out tomorrow at 4:00 Eastern time for Matropony. Savannah's going to be playing by herself this week, playing some Dream Daddy. On Wednesday, Lindsay will be around 8:30 Eastern time, doing her Lynn's Day, playing Borderlands 2. And then on Friday or Saturday, come and join us for more Saturday nights, and we'll be kicking butts and making deals with other worldly beings and all sorts of fun stuff. But yeah, and I guess we'll be back in 2 weeks for more Molly Mondays. And is that Morgan who's going to be?
Yeah.
Alex is underneath you on my screen, so I was like, I think he just won.
Sorry, I'm looking at the overlay, so I was pointing.
Okay. Yeah,
Morgan, it's Morgan's turn.
Morgan will be returning for something equally ridiculous, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous.
For us all to do. And you guys are lucky. This was my for my next go around. I had an even more ridiculous idea that we're going to get around to that I'm very much looking forward to. I had to flip a coin to decide which one I was going to do first. So yeah, we'll see you all in 2 weeks for this show, and we'll see you throughout the week for everything else. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.